Dragons Rising Season 3 is back with insane details and Easter eggs. Today we're diving deep into the biggest things you missed in Season 3. Let's get into it. When you first watched Dragons Rising Season 3, you probably focused on the action, the epic fights, and the new elemental powers, the wild mech battles, and the team shakeups. But just beneath the surface, buried in throwaway lines, background visuals, and even the tiniest bits of animation are huge clues about what's really going on in the world of Ninjago. Some of these moments hint at major foreshadowing lore connections and even timeline inconsistencies that might secretly change how we understand the season. Let's break them down. At the very start of the season, we see Thunderfang destroy a building that has a unique symbol. The same Source Dragon symbol that died, the symbol of the Source Dragon of Balance, something that would deeply imbalance the elemental energy of the realms. If that's true, this tiny background detail might be setting up a massive power shift in the future. When Thunderfang attacks, pay close attention to the edges of nearby wooden structures. They're slightly blackened and charred, a sign of scorching. It's easy to overlook, but details like this show the environment reacting realistically to elemental power. It also suddenly raises the tension and stakes, showing how dangerous Thunderfang truly is. In the City of Temples, light flickers when Thunderfang shakes the ground, but this is after the Oni War, meaning electricity shouldn't exist yet, at least not in this area. Was this an animation oversight, or is this civilization more technically advanced than we realized? You might still spot a few clipping issues in some scenes, small animation glitches, where objects overlap incorrectly. These are tough to avoid, especially in fast-paced sequences, but overall, the animation team did a great job minimizing them. One thing Dragons Rising does really well is the attention to detail in the characters. Ever since Wildbrain took over as a main animation studio in Season 11, there's been a noticeable boost in texture quality and suit design. The suits have a cool fabric design. Every ninja outfit feels more alive. A great example is Rox emerging from the water. She actually looks wet, with subtle reflection and texture changes. It's these kind of details that make the animation feel more dynamic and impressive. A butterfly appears early on in the season, and sharp-eyed fans might remember it from flashbacks or symbolism used in older seasons. In storytelling, butterflies often represent transformation, rebirth, or repeating of cycles. This could hint at characters like Lloyd or Eren are about to undergo a major personal shift, or that the conflict between Dragon and Oni is repeating itself in a new form. During the scene when Kai and Nia search for Jay, the ground looks rocky, but it's actually a flat texture rather than a 3D model. With all the new settings introduced in this season, it's clear that the animation team had to work smart, even with an increased budget. Clever shortcuts like these keep things looking polished, while saving valuable rendering time. When Nia lashes out at Kai, her water doesn't come from her body, it condenses out of the air around her. Ninjago uses this technique a lot. Compare that to Kai, whose fire clearly erupts from within. This tells us something subtle but important. Elemental powers are not just cosmetic, they're deeply personal. Nia's connection to water is environmental, calm and reactive. Kai's is explosive, internal and instinctual. Their personalities shape their powers, and the animation reflects that. There's a photo of the ninja in their climber suits, but it doesn't add up. Wildfire doesn't have a broken leg. Also, baby Ryu appears, despite no longer being a baby in this timeline. The photo seems to be a mashup of multiple points in time, possibly an animation error. After a conversation with Cole, Lloyd steps aside and exhales silently. It's just a few seconds, no dialogue, no music, but it says everything. Lloyd is under enormous pressure. Despite being the leader, He's isolated, everyone looks to him for strength, but he's still trying to process loss, responsibility and fear. And we see that in this quiet, emotionally grounded moment. Frek tells Lloyd that he was taught hatred and strength. That's R's philosophy, passed directly onto Frek. Lloyd doesn't yell, he listens. This shows how different their paths are. Lloyd believes in compassion and growth, while Res believes in dominance. The contrast isn't just about heroes and villains, it's about two completely different ways of teaching. Lloyd teaches imbalance, and Res teaches destructive. The desert at the start of the season isn't just a fantasy setting, it's clearly inspired by the Sonoran Desert in the southern west of the US. The plants like yucca, mesquite and cacti plus the terrain all match real-world geography. Even the Storm Village mirrors real Native American settlements that were built near rivers and canyons for shade and water access. Rounded rocks in a canyon suggest ancient flash floods or that the land was once underwater. These kind of subtle clues tell a silent story, and it's amazing how Ninjago's world building includes not just fantasy but realistic environmental history. Eren dragging Rez across the desert while he begs for sunscreen might seem like a joke.
Maybe put on some sunscreen.
No, keep moving.
You can't run from the sun.
But deserts like this can reach 49 degrees or 120 Fahrenheit. The moment adds a subtle layer of realism and reminds us how brutal the environment can be, even without elemental attacks. Early in the season, when a ninja leap across rooftops, you can spot the ordering of focus in the distance, seeing it next to buildings, and Thunderfang gives you a true sense of just how massive it is. When it fought Thunderfang, it was hard to guess the size, but here it's clear how big it really is. During training, Rez demands aggression, telling Eren the ninja are no longer his teachers.
Strength on your anger.
That's not how the
The
ninja...
ninja are no longer your teachers.
This is a direct mirror to episode 1, where Lloyd patiently guides Frek with kindness. Again, this contrast drives home the core message of the season, the difference between power with control and power driven by rage and fear. When Frek tells Sora about the Oni and Dragon War, he admits that he doesn't know why it started.
War with the dragons a long time ago. And
Why?
why what?
Why were they at war with the dragons? So you don't know?
That's a huge moment. For once, even the characters acknowledge that their history is incomplete, and Lloyd adds that the war began before the first Spinjitzu master.
Part of the first realm, and we're at war even before the first Spinjitzu master was born.
Suggesting that there are ancient truths still buried. We could get more hints at Ninjago's history in the future. Sora, Frek and Lloyd search for Eren, and Frek mentions that he had horns. But hold on, neither of them saw Eren's new horned suit. Did they hear about it off screen? Is this a small slip up? Because we saw Eren leave with his Tournament of Sources suit. Powerlit the Cyclops is said to be from Mysterium, a huge reveal that could introduce even more creatures or enemies from this realm that is full of magic. Ninjago is clearly expanding its multiverse again, and this might be just the beginning. When Kai and Lloyd land in the monastery hangar, their weapons float briefly before snapping into place. A quick visual glitch. Wildfire's voice is softer now.
It's for me! Look at that! Rosie!
Maybe because she no longer needs the need to sound dragon-like.
I'm the Green Ninja!
Green Ninja? Ha! Sounds fake! I'm not dumb! Don't try tricks on me! I did every learning module in my caregiver bot's memory bank!
Embracing her dual identity. Drick's book armory generation is as terrifying as it is cool. This shows how creative and cool elemental powers can be. Frek almost got shredded by the Storm Rider spinning propeller. Wildfire swoops in for a last second rescue, a classic close call. Wildfire slams one mech into another, forcing it out of the chaotic storm. looking like a full combined mech. Cole sees a strange rock, marked with symbols that aren't Ninjagron. Could it be a secret language tease for future lore? One of the coolest visuals this season is Shay powering up, not just with glowing hands, but with animated lightning going across his body. Look closely and you notice even the stripes on his suit starts to glow. It's a noticeable touch, but it makes a huge impact. Lately, Ninjago has leaned heavily on the glowing hands effect, and while it used to feel exciting, it starts to feel a bit overused. That's why Chase design stands out. It gives his powers more personality and a stronger visual identity. Cole's animation follows the same idea. His glow isn't just tacked on, he gets elemental patterns running down his arms and legs, adding depth and creativity. When Ninjago customizes these power-ups for each character, that's when the animation truly shines. Eren's Spinjitzu follows with his limbs. It feels snappy, reactive and totally his own style. It also shows that LAKEY doesn't always repeat the same Spinjitzu animation and customize it based on what movements they do. When the combiner mech splits, a white flash hides all the messy parts. Clean smart animation trick. Do not animate those parts. They use them throughout Dragons Rising a few times. When Lloyd, Nia and Kai did the triple Rising Dragon Strike, the sword slides itself, pure raw power, and that sonic boom just heals it. One of the coolest attacks we've seen so far. Thunderfang's line, strength, motion, or is it life? How ironic would that be?
Whose energy do you channel? Motion, that incessant busybody, or the self-obsessed strength? Or is it life? How ironic would that be?
Might confirm Lloyd's true element, life itself, the source of all power. While it is said that Lloyd's power is energy, life is the source of his power, and also spells out lightning, ice, fire, earth. During the Thunderfang fight, it almost feels like we're seeing as Lloyd, shifting between first person and third person, like a video game. One moment you're in his eyes, and the next you're watching him dodge attacks and get thrown across a battlefield. Super dynamic and impressive. This shows how good Ninjago got in animating battles and mastering camera movement. And there you have it, a season packed with hidden clues, powerful symbolism and major setups for what's coming next. From clever animation tricks to quite emotional moments. Dragons Rising Season 3 is telling a much deeper story than what's on the surface. That one Source Dragon symbol breaking is hinting what would happen in Part 2 of Dragons Rising. Did you enjoy Dragons Rising Season 3? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you liked this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Ninjago content. Thanks for watching.